So today's book is Earl Nightingale's Lead the Field. And this book is super interesting. I honestly picked it up because I've heard people talk about Earl Nightingale before. I've heard, a few speeches by him, and it's not that I wasn't impressed, it's just I wasn't like moved to the point where I was like, oh, I got to pick up this book. And honestly, I was surprised. Like, this book honestly might be the best self-improvement book I've read in so long. Like, you have the classics like Think and Grow Rich. You have, David Goggins' book. You have basically all of the books that will teach you certain aspects of self-improvement, certain aspects of your mind, certain things that, you can do to get yourself ahead. But none of them quite encapsulate as many principles as this book. And what I love about this book is it's literally 180 pages, and it's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be 400 pages. It doesn't need to be, in depth in each different discipline of like how to get your life in order. It's just the simple bare bones solution to how to go about fixing your life. And a few of the interesting things I want to bring up is in this book, Earl Nightingale literally says like someone did the math. I think it was DuPont. DuPont did the math, and they said like the energy in the atoms in your body is equivalent to $85 billion, and like we are each $85 billion. And I want you to really put an emphasis on this because like the energy and the power within your mind and the power within your body is like, we oftentimes like to diminish it. We like to say, you know what, I'm worth $20 an hour. I'm worth $50 an hour. I'm worth $100,000 a year. Like, no, your potential is absolutely limitless, and it's like what we do with it. And it's super interesting because Earl Nightingale literally puts into perspective like, if you want to make more money, start serving more people. Start benefiting more people. Like, the amount of money that you generate is equivalent to the amount of people that you can service, the amount of just benefit that you can provide other people. And we start thinking about it like this, like instead of blaming other people, instead of blaming the circumstance, instead of doing any of these things, like if you're not making the money you want, start finding a way to be more useful. Start finding a way to serve more people, to service the industry, to in some way provide more benefit. And that is a much better solution to, saying, oh, the government, they're doing all these policies and the economy's crashing and this and that, and oh, it's a bad market, and oh, I went into school and I'm in debt, and all these, like, instead of worrying about anything else, like just worry about what you can provide to people, and that is the first thing that we should start worrying about. And it's a super interesting book, and another thing I really liked about this book was I oftentimes, especially on this channel, talk about how important reading is and how it can just basically go about changing your life. And there was a chapter in this book that honestly it changed my mind a little bit, and it said like the difference between the highest performers and the people that are at the middling and lower levels of corporations is their vocabulary. Like they all basically, they test the same in terms of leadership. They have a lot of the same characteristics. They might have the same, education, but the difference between the top tier people and the people that, will never get promoted is their vocabulary. Like, can you articulate ideas? Are you able to inspire others? Like, with your words, can you change the mood in the room? Can you, in some way, change the perception of a bad event that really is a opportunity for you to recollect and re-engage and do something differently? And it's super interesting to think about this. And he also goes to say, like, if you could just set aside 15 minutes a day to read, that's 1,000 books that you'll read in your entire life. And overall, like, I really suggest this book. I couldn't put it down last night. I literally stayed up to like 12:30 or 1 reading this book last night. I normally go to bed at 10. That's just to show you like how much I enjoyed this book. And I think it's a really, really underrated book in terms of self-improvement because it has a lot of deep knowledge, and this is something that I really plan on going back into, and maybe I'll even do some of the chapters in more depth and explain my thoughts on them. But for the time being, I think I gave you enough on this book. I think it's a tremendous read. It's probably like $10 on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description to this book. Again, I didn't think I was going to like this book that much. I thought it was going to be cookie cutter information, but I was thoroughly impressed with the way that Earl Nightingale put it, and I was very much inspired to make a few changes in my life. And it's all about what can you gain from these books. Like whatever price tag is on the book, it really doesn't matter as long as you can take one or two things away, as long as you can learn a lesson that you start applying for the rest of your life. Like I want you to start thinking of knowledge as almost like compounding interest. Like, the more knowledge you gain now is the more knowledge you can pull from in the future. The more insights you have into solving certain issues is the easier you'll be able to solve them for the rest of your life. So reading books like this, reading books like the 48 Laws of Power, Laws of Human Nature, Carl Jung books, like anything you're interested in, just start pursuing it. Just start understanding it. Just start understanding the human psyche and how people operate and how to deal with people, and you're going to go so far in this world. And thank you so much for making this far. The growth on this channel has been absolutely insane to me, and it's baffling that this channel is taking off in the way it is, and I can't thank each and every one of you enough. It means the world to me, and hopefully I won't get any more comments on how bad the lighting it is and how it looks like I'm in prison because I just got a ring light. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, thank you so much. Link for this book will be in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.